Look how they mess with my boy.
That is right, guys. Today we are getting rid of this whole bumper and light assembly here. Not forever, but just in the meantime, because you guys already know I bought a street scene balance for this, and I want to go ahead and get it mounted, get it marked up, cut anything that I need to cut, and obviously get it properly fitted before I go ahead and take it to get painted or paint it myself. I still haven't decided yet. But to do that, we need to remove all of this, and I don't want to leave the truck without a bumper. You saw it earlier. I want to drive the truck. I want to go ahead and take it out, in the evenings and whatnot. So I don't want to leave it without a bumper while I'm doing that. And I know that's going to take me some time. So today we're going to be installing a Toyota 4Runner front bumper on the Mazda B2000. And I'm going to show you everything that I'm using today. This is from a 92 to 95 Toyota 4Runner model. So just keep that in mind. We're going to be using some brackets. Now, the unfortunate thing right now is that the place that I bought the brackets from, I don't think they are online anymore. But I know I've seen on the Facebook groups people advertising that they sell Toyota front bumper brackets. So go ahead and get in one of those groups if you're thinking about doing this mod, and you will find someone that can sell you one of those front bumper brackets. And here on the table is everything that we're going to be using today. We have the Toyota front bumper. You can see we have the black and the chrome. Obviously, we want to make sure it matches what we have going on with the truck right now. These are the brackets that you're going to need. Now, these are from Addictive Concepts. I don't think their store or anything like that is open online, at least. But I know I've seen, it might even be the same guy that made this ones, posting on the Facebook groups that they're selling Toyota brackets. So go ahead and just ask one of those Facebook groups. I'm sure someone will pop up and tell you that they'll sell you these brackets. And then over here we also have the lights that are going to go right onto the bumper. Obviously, we don't want to have missing blinkers, so we got those in here. I'll try to link to anything that I can link down in the description, but otherwise, like I said, the brackets, you probably have to find them on the Facebook groups. Check it out, guys. We are gonna go ahead and remove the bumper. Now you can see my grill is off, and you don't have to do this at all to do this install. I just have another piece that I need to install right here in the middle. It's completely separate from this video, so I'll show you guys that in a bit. But to remove the bumper, obviously you have 12 millimeters, one on each side. I would do the bolt instead of the Phillips screw. You do have Phillips screw in there, but they tend to strip and everything. One underneath the wheel well here. You can kind of see it separated there already. One on the other side, and then 4 17 millimeter bolts, 2 on the top, which you honestly just need to loosen a little bit because the bracket doesn't hold it in place. And then 1 on the front, 2 on the front, 1 on each side. And those you do have to take them out completely. Now don't forget to disconnect your lights as well, otherwise you're gonna pull them out. There you go, guys. With the bumper off, again, you don't need to take the grill off, but with the bumper off, we're ready to start putting our brackets into the bumper, and I'm gonna show you guys their direction that they need to go. I'm also about to just switch this right here real briefly because I have that piece. That's the reason why I took my grill off. So let me just go ahead and change that. And there we have it. We have the brand new piece in the middle here, so we are good to start putting the bumper in here. So let's move over there to the table so I can show you how the brackets are gonna go in here. All right, guys, and here with the bumper on the table, I went ahead and put the brackets in here, how they're gonna go. They're gonna go kind of with the inside part towards the inside of the middle of the truck. Same thing on the other side. We can kind of see this is towards the inside of the truck. So make sure your bracket is looking that way on both sides. And then this part is going to be a little bit of trial and error because we don't know how many washers they might need, if they'll need any on the back of the bracket, on the front of the bracket. So that will vary depending on your truck as well. Another thing is this little parts here on the side of the bumper. They are obviously kind of mounting points for the Toyota, but we don't have those on the Mazda. And they do hit when you first try to put it in there. So you work around that first and then get it in the mounting points. And then you should be okay. From there, we can start kind of moving it up and down and whatnot. So let's go ahead and take it over there. Okay, guys, so here we are trying to fit this in here and completely disregard what I said about putting the brackets on there. You do have to put the brackets on the truck first and then attach kind of the bottom bolt a little bit because there is not an easy way to adjust it once you put it on the bumper and you put the bumper on. Also, like every aftermarket part that it seems that comes out, it doesn't fully fit 100%. Maybe it was not meant specifically for this bumper and that's why we're seeing that. But basically, it's just a little bit too wide over here. It's like the bolts for this bumper are here, and then if I have, this ones are on where it needs to be, and honestly that seems to be about right. It could be a little bit further in, I guess, if you wanted to, but again, it's not gonna let you do that really here with these bolts. So either you kind of pull it and attach it and everything, and that makes it be tilted like it is right now, to where it's obviously a big old gap on here on the fender, and I don't like that, so we try to fix that obviously, but they don't fit, the bolts don't fit how they should here. They should really be a little bit closer in. I think both of them should be just a little bit closer in. So that's the downside of these brackets. We're gonna make it work, and I'm not sure if I'm just gonna try to pull it and kind of force it in place, or I might just end up drilling a hole or two a little bit further in on one side, so that way the whole bumper attaches the right way. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep moving on and keep messing with it.
Dreaming in the dark, we are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard, and I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you want.
All right, guys, so let's talk about the installation so far, and I can show you here we have one light installed already. I'm gonna walk through what I did on the other side, just so you guys have more knowledge on this. You can kind of see here we have a bit of a gap. I need to tighten up this bolt a little bit more. I thought I had tightened up enough, but we honestly can get rid of that gap just by tying up the bolt a little bit more. It's not too bad, but I do want to call out that this bumper seems to be a lot wider on the side, so you can kind of tell here it sticks out a lot more. With my case, I have the fender flares, so honestly it kind of ties up to them, so it doesn't bother me. But if you didn't have fender flares, you definitely want to push this in, as it's going to be sticking out just way too much. Just a little bit pushed in to match with the other natural OEM flare here would be enough, or if you want to go all the way down, then that's up to you. But like I said, because of my fender flares, it doesn't look too off or out of place. If it was just a little bit tighter, it would be a little bit better, but it kind of flows with my truck right now. Another thing you want to do too is make sure you adjust the brackets first. And honestly, removing the grill, I think, is going to be your best bet. There's not a lot of room to work with down here. There's not a lot of places to go with the extension or a socket or a bolt or anything like that. So honestly, going through the top here was the easiest way to do this, and I think it's just going to make your life easier not having that grill in there, especially if you have a chrome one like mine. Those things are like gold, and you don't want to knock it, crack it, or do something on accident because you're trying to go around it on this. So definitely recommend getting the grill off first, and then that way you have all the room to work with. Now, as far as the lights here, not the best fitment, not great honestly, and I think it's part because this is all aftermarket. None of this is OEM lights or OEM Toyota bumper or anything like that, so there's always gaps, there's always fitment issues honestly, so we might have to deal with that. Now, outside of that though, everything's coming along. Also make sure you get the little bolts that go in there, or the little plastic pieces that hold the bolts, because if you get a bumper like this one, it doesn't come with anything, and you're not going to be able to put screws or anything into it. So another pro tip for you. We're going to go ahead and finish up here, and then we are going to potentially also try to add some brackets in here, just because I don't like how kind of wobbly it's over here. So I would say, if you're not going to use your other bumper at all, take the brackets, the ones that go into the side like that, and bend them and adjust them into this bumper, so that way it's more secure. If you are going to use them in the future like me, obviously I'm not going to take those, so I'm going to see if I have a spare set that we can adjust to this. Okay guys, so let's talk about wiring for the turn signals. You're not going to be able to use them just straight out of the box, because the Toyota 4Runner has a different plug. So the easiest way you can go about this is either cut the end out of your old ones if you're not going to use them anymore, and then attach your power and your ground into the new ones. Or if you have a spare set of plugs, then do that as well. But you will have to basically integrate the end of the turn signals so it matches the Mazda one into the new light. And then I also did try to use this bracket. I did find my extra ones with the bumper, but because it is a little bit wider and everything, it doesn't reach. There's not a good place to put it on, which is unfortunate. If you pushed it in, maybe you could make it work, but otherwise you cannot use it at all. Another thing I noticed as well is that this bumper, the OEM one, actually sits lower than the Toyota 4Runner one, so I'll show you. If we are looking just straight at the truck, you can see a lot more of this bottom. I know maybe in the camera it's not a good pickup here, but you can kind of see my lights a little bit sticking out, a lot more of the red here from the bumper. And I know I can maybe put this bumper a little bit lower so there's a bit more of a gap between the grill here and the bumper itself, but yeah, the OEM one just sits lower, and then once I add the balance on it, it's gonna sit even lower, which is what I want. I can see why some people might like this look and everything. It does look kind of cool. I think if you are bag or something, it might look even better because you're gonna be obviously more on the floor, but I am a bit of a purist with this. I think I like the OEM bumper a lot more than I do this one. It does look cool. It makes the truck look a little bit different, but I simply like the OEM one a little bit better.
You should take it slow.
So there you have it, guys. That's how the Toyota 4Runner bumper is going to look on the Mazda B series. Now this brackets, I believe you can add any other Toyota bumpers from the era. You might want to check though when you purchase them with whoever you purchase them from. They should be able to tell you a little bit more. Again, this is from a 92 to 95 4Runner, Toyota 4Runner, so that's how it's going to look on this one. Now, I want to know what you guys think though. You like the fitment? Do you like how it looks and everything? I can see why some people might like this look for their truck. I don't like that it sits a little bit higher than the OEM one, but if you do have more of a chromed out and everything truck, that just has a lot more on it compared to the OEM one. Personally, I like the OEM one better. The fitment is better, obviously, just because that's how they came from the factory. And then when I add my balance on it, it's going to make it sit a little bit lower without necessarily my truck having to be lower. And I like that aspect of it more compared to this one. But I want to hear your thoughts on it. So let me know down in the comments. What do you guys think? Would you do this to your truck? Have you been thinking about doing this? Now you have a better idea how it's going to take and what kind of work it's going to take. Honestly, it wasn't hard necessarily, just a little tedious with some of the bolts and everything. And then especially having to figure out how many washers you want to add, how much of a gap you want to have between the grill and the bumper, and all those little details that you're going to have whenever you're going to add this bumper in there. Again, not necessarily hard. You can definitely do it maybe an hour or two, depending how fast you're working. But yeah, that's what it is. If you like what I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Hopefully we'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.